And that's going to be a regular feature.
How exciting, Jack. Now, if viewers can't get out there this Saturday down to downtown Main Street in Loris, they can still listen to this
Sure,
at
absolutely.
WLSC. And for our viewers in the PD and southeastern North Carolina, you just said WLSCradio.com.
I am so blown away.
Right.
Because we're just beginning to show up on the search engines. We checked the other day, Scotland, Costa Rica,
No.
the Netherlands.
Or listening to WLSCradio.com.
Yeah, it is just great. It's
That's
phenomenal.
crazy. Those are your friends in Scotland.
And there are a lot of
and
folks. The
Netherlands.
neat thing about the internet is that there are folks that lived in Loris and they've moved to other parts
Yeah,
of the country, and they can still get a little piece of hometown.
I love it.
And it's people. When I came in, Greg, they wanted to ask, am I going to change it to a rock station? I went, I'm not going to make any changes. And even if I had thought about making changes, I wouldn't go in and make any changes for the first 90 to 120 days.
Oh,
You wouldn't
yeah.
do that. That's the kiss of death for your business.
Right.
Because the ideas that you might have, they may not work.
Right.
So we went in and just took it easy. We still do Southern Gospel.
Good.
From 6 until 9.
Right.
You ride along Highway 90 or 905 or Red Bluff Road or any of those roads going to Loris. Church is a very big part of life out there in that area.
Right.
And it's a very big part of what we do on the radio. So we've got gospel from 6 until 9.
Oh, yeah, good. We're laying out the program schedule. This is gospel from 6 to 9.
Yeah,
right.
at night. So let's
6
just
to
start
9
there.
p.m.
p.m.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we're
good,
doing it backwards here.
Yeah, let's
From
do
9
that.
until 6 a.m., we just have country music.
9
and it's a
p
great
to 6
mix.
a is country music.
Best new stuff. We're implementing a lot of the classics, and we're seizing upon that classic because we've kind of forgotten. We're almost going to be a classic country station, but still play some new stuff.
Okay.
And that's from 9 until 6. I come on the air at 6 a.m.
6A. So
and I'm on until 10.
Right. You're kind enough to come here to be with us this morning.
And we have various programming from 10 until 3
You
or
said
4.
6A to 10A.
Right.
Is Banana Jack and Burton Squirt.
Yeah, we do a little Burton Squirt in there. And
good.
it's a lot of the stuff that I've done on radio here in this area since 1989.
Exciting, Jack.
But we haven't pushed the envelope as much because, well, we're right on Main Street. And it's Loris and it's hometown radio. And
That's great.
Yeah.
And then 10A to 6P, you said?
Well, 10 until about 4, we play, still country music, emphasis on classic, and we slide in a little bluegrass during there once in a while.
Right.
At 4 o'clock, we have a gentleman, his name is Scotty Young. He's been in radio forever. He's been on the air in Washington, D.C., Jacksonville, Florida, and he's just an old guy.
And it's Johnny Young?
Scotty Young.
Scotty Young.
Yeah,
Excuse
Scotty
me.
Young. And he does the show called The Bargain Barn.
The Bargain Barn?
The Bargain Barn. Most
Wow.
stations in small communities have, it's classifieds on the radio.
I
So
love it.
people are just free to call 756-5225.
Good. 756-5225.
756 Jack. Okay.
756 Jack.
756 Jack.
Trouble with that. Great.
Easy to remember. And you can call those to hear a song, or let us know where you're listening, especially on the internet, because we do like to keep track of that.
Sure.
And from 4 until 6, we do the Bargain Barn. And a lot of sponsors.
That's Monday through Friday or 7 days a week?
Monday through Friday.
Monday through Friday.
Yeah,
Great.
people call in. It's an on-air classifieds, and Scotty has a homespun, hometown approach.
I love it.
And it's businesses sponsor particular segments, and you're free to call in anything.
That's tremendous.
An item to buy, sell, or trade. And it's a neat little service. It was on in the morning from 8 until 10.
Right.
But because of some things I'm working on with the show that we can't talk about yet because we're just in the planning stages.
Sure.
I wanted to keep the program, but I didn't know when to run it. And it also airs opposite WTAB's show called The Swap Shop in Tabor City. And the host of that show, his name is Jack. The owner of that station is Jack Miller. So there was a lot of confusion. They would get some calls that said, is this the Bargain Barn? And we got a whole lot of calls. Is this the Swap Shop?
Yeah.
And so I says, to rebrand this, but to keep it, we're just going to move it to drive time. And it's a little different. Who does a, classified on-air show?
Yeah.
But like just a couple of weeks ago, we had the Loris High School Choir come in and sing.
Right.
We're going to implement a show called Live from Loris and implement and really showcase a lot of the gospel groups, the country
great,
groups,
Jack.
even some of the rock groups that are here to do acoustic unplugged sets. We got a nice little stage in there.
Oh, you do? It's gorgeous.
And
yeah,
it's going to be pretty neat.
If folks can't get out there this Saturday for the big grand opening, what would they see if they were visiting the studio? I mean, can you give us a little sense of just walking in the front door there?
Last July, when we were
Street?
still in the process of putting this deal together, my wife and I went over to Loris for the summer sizzle, and it was raining. I says, no, they're going to do this festival over there. It's going to stop raining, and we're going to go. Well, they got rained out. And as we were coming back down 701 from out at the Commerce Center there in Loris, we got to the stoplight at 701 and 9, which is Main Street and Broad Street. And there was this building that said, for lease, and it's right on the corner. And it's a rounded building.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, boy, and I looked over at Barb, and she's like, that would make a great place for a studio.
Yeah.
And we pursued that a little bit. We went up to see her family over the summer, and when we came back, we stopped off in Mount Airy, which is the home of Andy Griffith, and that's the basis for the Andy Griffith Show. We'd driven down 77, but we never cut through to spend any time there.
Right.
So we went there, and Loris is similar. They're Main Street to what they're doing in Mount Airy. Of course, they don't have the show to draw upon.
Right.
But they've got this neat theater that the Surrey County Arts Council has kind of revitalized, and it's right on Main Street, and they do a live bluegrass show every Saturday.
Wow.
From, I think it's 11 to 1:30, and it's broadcast on WPAQ radio.
Right.
You can do a Google search. I'd hate to give out the wrong web address. They've been doing this show for 40-plus years, broadcasting this from this theater. And when I saw that, we took some photos, and so we wanted to recreate that.
Sure.
For Loris.
At WLSC,
At WLSC. But when we got there on the building, and because we're right on the sidewalk.
Oh, I love it. I know.
I mean, we're so close to the sidewalk
that
I can read the serial number on those little pedestrian crossing signs. That's how close it is. If I had a sliding window, I could reach out and touch the... So we had to change our marquee somewhat.
Right.
Because we couldn't have it sticking out on the road and everything. So we scaled it down, and I'm still working on a signage, but our sign's beautiful. There. And it let people know, because the last few years, the former owner of the station got in a car accident in 2005.
Right.
And they moved to like temporary studios, and they didn't have any presence.
Right, sure.
And you can't just disappear, especially in AM radio.
Oh, yeah.
And there are people that didn't even know Loris had a radio station.
Wow.
So when I was putting the plan together, I says, we've got to be in the most visible place we can get.
Yeah.
And we're at the busiest intersection in town.
I love it.
When that sign is lit up at night, you can see it about a half mile down the road as you're coming up 701, because we stick out farther than all the buildings do.
Right, right.
And it's a really, really neat thing.
I love it. And, of course, our show loves it, as you know, and I hate to plug ourselves.
No, don't plug it, because you beat me to the punch.
Oh, good, yeah.
We were looking for, like, naming rights sponsors to kind of help defray the cost of the signage, and our good friends at GE Media, Carolina people, jumped on board. So if you tune into the station at the top of the hour, it says live from the Carolina People Studios. And we promote the show and the website at the top of every hour.
Wow, CarolinaPeople.com.
CarolinaPeople.com.
So folks at the end of this week will be able to go online and watch your interview this Friday.
Sure.
At the end of the day, they can see you online as well as our other fascinating guests this week.
Pretty
That is
neat.
tremendous,
Yeah,
Jack.
yeah.
I love it. And you've got some other sponsors for the studio now, or is that
We're
just...
working on it.
Yeah,
We're still putting some deals in progress.
Sure.
Yeah,
but
but
right
we got
now,
three
Carolina
that,
People is at least
you know
1
how
week
people
on.
plan their budgets in the fall?
I know. I'm sorry. That's right. Well, you bumped into that guy from GE Media there at the post office.
Right, absolutely.
At the right time.
At the right time.
Which worked out very well. And I think the Carolina People and some of the other businesses are on board for at least a couple of years.
We've got a lot of things that are happening. We're talking to a big sponsor.
Good.
I don't know if anything's going to come of this,
Right.
but they're talking to us, and they're interested in what we're doing with this live show.
I love it.
Because the internet has just changed the whole dynamics.
We like the internet.
Of
I know.
everything.
And of course, you love the internet.
And mark my words, there will be internet access in automobiles, and you'll be able to listen to streaming radio via the internet in your car. That's happening.
Sirius and XM and all. That'll probably
Yeah,
put a
and
whopping
those guys
on
are
that.
aware of that, because subscribers to those services can also listen online. So,
Sure.
but it's gonna be the great revolutionizer.
Wow, Jack.
Yeah.
Of course, we had you listed in the Herald this week as highlighting 25 years of radio broadcasting. A big push is the 50 years of WLSC. We just have a couple of minutes left. I'm embarrassed to say.
Wow, it
20-some
flew
minutes.
by.
has blown by. I know this past weekend you had a big piece with, as you said, a year ago when we were filming over there at the Stone Temple on Northgate
Sure.
Boulevard, and we had that guy in, the John Palmer from Retirement Living Television, and some
Absolutely.
other great guests that week. We had you in, and we were talking a little bit about a company you've been involved with since 2005. Share with viewers real quick about what happened this past weekend.
We got together and we brought together the business community and the consumers. We're nothing more than a co-op.
Right.
It's the national companies. Some refer to it as Team National.
Right.
BigN.com is the website. You can Google it in and find out more information about the company. It's a growing company.
Right.
A very big company, approaching $200 million a year company. And it's a company that has no product. We just broker deals with probably 3,000 businesses across the country.
That many? Wow.
That many now. And they have a business exchange. So if you own a business, it's a way to reach everybody which is a member of this co-op, which is over 500,000 members now.
Well, folks need to talk to you about that
Absolutely.
directly. Can they call you at the radio station?
They can call me. I'd call this number, 843-222-4652.
Okay.
For that,
222-4652.
Sure.
For Team National
Yeah.
and this big co-op you're talking about. That's tremendous.
Yeah.
And they really need to spend some time with you about that. I know this past weekend was a tremendous success. But, of course, the real push is this upcoming weekend. Saturday, April 5th, 9 to 5, everything out on the street there. And you said that's the corner of 701 and
South Carolina Business 9.
Highway 9.
Yeah. And the neat thing about it, Greg, is because I grew up in the Triangle area, and as I sit there, there's a sign that points to Raleigh. It's right there at that intersection, and it says Raleigh that way. And so it kind of reminds me of where I came from.
I love it.
24 hours a day. I did want to say before we get out of here
Jack.
that effective at 4 o'clock this afternoon, I've already sold the station. Is that neat?
Oh, April Fool's Day. I love
you
it.
dog.
Yeah,
I couldn't even get you on it, man.
That's
You're
tremendous.
too shrewd.
You almost got me.
You've
My
known me
God,
for so long.
I thought that would be very exciting for you to announce it on air.
That's right.
A good 6-month run
And
there.
you're good.
Yeah.
Donald said I couldn't get you.
Oh, no, that was very good. That was very good. I hate to say it, Jack, but we have run out of time. But I want to make sure folks take the time to check you out online.
Thank you.
And they can listen to the entire 24 hours a day online?
Yeah, we're on 24 hours a day. And Saturdays, if you love bluegrass music, we're going to really start this live from our place at 10 o'clock. At noon, we have a show called Into the Blue. We're the first station in South Carolina actually, Knee Deep in Bluegrass is at noon. We're the first station in South Carolina.
Yeah.
And then Into the Blue at 3.
I'm sorry. We have thoroughly run out of time. Thank you, Jack. Stay tuned to more Carolina people with the veteran radio broadcaster, Banana Jack Murphy, coming up next. He's been on the radio for 25 years. He's been Banana Jack for 19 years. He's owned a radio station for 6 months, working hard every day to get his son in the Guinness Book of World Records. You can go online to learn more about him at WLSCradio.com or pick up the phone, 843-756-1183. Big time this Saturday. Get out there right on the corner of Main and Broad Street at the WLSC studios for the big, big celebration, Saturday, April 5th from 9 to 5. Get out there in the city of Loris, 1240 AM, WLSC, Loris, South Carolina. Banana Jack Murphy.
Thank you.
Thanks for being with us this morning. Absolutely.